August is a time of year that can reveal the real impact of summer on your garden. Your perennials are starting to fade, your containers may be half eaten by the deer, your weeds are starting to creep into your beds, and everything is just starting to look a little bit tired. And the to-do list can get really overwhelming, and if you're not careful, if you ignore anything, it can just completely overtake and cause a really big problem later on down the road. So today I'm going to make my way through the garden and give you guys some ideas in terms of 5 things that I try to do very consistently in my garden to make sure that I can keep things under control and help me take my summer garden all the way into fall in a healthy but maintainable way. This is not about perfection. This is not about spending hours and days outside. This is just about things to pay attention to and things to do right now to help set you up for a really pretty fall season as well. So the first thing we're going to start with is by looking at anything and determining whether it needs to be deadheaded or just completely cut back. So for example, I have this lady's mantle. All the flower heads are completely spent, but in general, the plant is still looking really good. So all I'm going to do for this plant is just start deadheading it. Now these can also be cut back completely and it will encourage a second flush of blooms. But since these are still looking really good for me, I didn't end up cutting it back at all. I'm just cutting off any of the leaves that look a little bit spent, but they're mostly hidden underneath. And then while I'm here, I'm doing a little bit of weeding as well. Now you can see because I have left the bloom heads on, they have self-seeded and they're also starting to self-seed all around the area, which is what I want. I want them to spread. That's why I leave the bloom heads on this long. Now, like I said, I let these self-seed freely, but a couple of them self-seeded a little bit too close to the border, and they're going to grow out into the grass, and I don't want that. So I can just take my trusty hori-hori, dig it up so that I don't damage the roots, and move it now when it's easier to move rather than moving them when they're big plants. Now here we have the yarrow. Some of the yarrow is still looking okay, but a lot of it is starting to look spent. This one I'm obviously not going to go through and deadhead. Yarrow you can cut back all the way and it should encourage a second flush of blooms, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. When I cut back, I'm going to cut back all the way down to about 4 inches up off the ground. And as I'm doing this, I'm exposing a lot of weeds that I didn't see before, so I'm making sure to weed as I go. Now, speaking of weeds, someone had given me some perennials from their garden, and in with that snuck in this this buttercup, which can be fairly aggressive and invasive here in North America. So I do like certain aspects of it, but I do need to start pulling it out because it does flush out a very lovely yellow in the early spring, but like I said, it is invasive, so you do have to be careful about it. So I am going to be pulling it out by the roots as I'm going, and it is going to take a couple of rounds for me to have to pull it out in order for me to get it under, in order for me to completely eradicate it from my garden. So that's going to be another thing that I'm working on, which goes to say, be careful as you guys are sharing plants with one another, because sometimes you don't know what you're putting into your garden when you guys are sharing plants with each other. But the same thing goes from when you're getting things from the garden center. Oftentimes we're planting perennials and we can actually see sometimes that there are weeds on top of the cans. So just be mindful to pull those weeds before putting them into your garden. Now I'm also going to cut back these iris leaves because the sheer floppiness of them and the burnt tips are starting to make me a little bit crazy, and this is all about making things look tidy. Now the third thing that I'm doing is making a list that I'm going to go inside and write down of things that I'm either going to need to address this fall or things that I need to think about for this time of year next year. Now, one of the things that I'm going to need to address this fall are these irises. I'm going to bring you in nice and close, and you're going to see that these irises are starting to form an outer ring. What that means is that there isn't enough nutrients or sunlight that is getting to the center of the plant, and it is dying off, which means that I'm going to need to start breaking apart this clump and moving them around my garden. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be addressing this fall. Now the second thing that I'm going to be doing is getting rid of this bluegrass that I planted behind me. I had picked this up at Home Depot a couple of years ago because I loved the color of it and I loved how spiky the texture was, and I thought it was going to look great in the garden. And it did for maybe the first year or two. What I did not realize is it spreads underground and it is popping up absolutely all over the place within the garden in places where I don't want it. And also the original mother plant now looks like it's really, really sad. And it just doesn't look good at all. It looks like a big mess. So I'm going to be completely getting rid of that in the fall season. Now the fourth thing, and probably my least favorite thing, is making sure that you keep a nice, tidy border. Now, the reason it's my least favorite thing is probably because it's the one that's the most time consuming of the 5 that I'm going to list, but honestly, it drives the biggest impact. Not only does it make the bed look visually more tidy instantly, but it also gives weeds less of a chance of creeping into your bed. Now, in general, I don't have a huge weed problem because my beds are packed so densely, and because my beds are packed so densely, it basically doesn't give weeds enough chance for it to get the appropriate amount of sunlight or for the roots to grow and have the appropriate amount of space. So I don't have a huge weed problem. But where there is some more exposed dirt, which is typically in the border, that is where most of my weeds come from. And then the turf actually ends up sometimes sneaking into the garden bed as well. Now I could put some sort of a border around it. I personally choose not to because I'm always changing my beds. I'm always expanding them or making them different shapes and sizes. So for me, if I were to actually edge the bed with something, some sort of stone or pavers or what have you, to me that would create extra work. So all I'm going to do is use one of these and just quickly move along. What a huge difference it can make just to sharpen those borders and better define the bed and help with the weeds not creeping into the bed. Now, the fifth and final thing that I would recommend anybody to do is check your containers. Now, my containers are still looking good because I've been using those Oya pots, and that has really helped a ton. What has not helped a ton is the fact that I've neglected to spray them for deer, and the deer have definitely been grazing. Now, I typically spray a little bit for deer, especially in the spring season, for deer and rabbits when things are first starting to flush out. And then honestly, I get a little bit lazy and lackadaisical about it. My garden is so dense and so full that honestly, if they eat little bits here and there, or a lot of bits here and there, it doesn't bother me so much because it's not so evident. So I could probably do a better job spraying my garden. However, in a container where it's such a small surface area, it is very evident when they're nibbling on things and things aren't growing. So that, to me, I'm protecting. The rest, I'm okay sharing a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray. So I use Repelzol. It works really, really, really well, but it stinks. So I would highly recommend doing it in the evening and making sure to not get any on you, because you will repel everything. So if you think about it, August is just about removing what has finished, controlling what's becoming a problem, observing what needs to be changed, and then just supporting the things that are still growing. So from that standpoint, if you approach it that way and just take tasks a little bit at a time and be consistent about it, you're going to have a great August, and you're going to put yourself into a great spot to head into the fall season. So let me know what you guys are working on this week. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in the garden.